Welcome back, Zenroku, the podcast where anime meets personal development. Today, I'm excited to introduce a guest who's a powerhouse in the anime podcasting world. They host an amazing show focused on anime-oriented content covering everything from Greek culture to anime studies while keeping it family-centered and fandom-friendly. With 159 episodes and counting, they continue to inspire listeners with their insights and passions for anime. Without further ado, my guest today is none other than Mason, the host of MC Anime Podcast. Welcome, Mason.
Good. Nice to have me. How are you doing today?
Good, fam. Man, it's been crazy. For the guests out there, and viewers don't know, I've been trying to get you on the podcast twice, and twice my internet has completely and utterly failed me. So
Yes.
TNT, I'm coming for you. So I'm just playing.
But now Zenroku is all wrapped up in fiber optic and ready to go.
Yeah.
And if he has to be wrapping himself in the fiber optic cable to get signal, so be it. But yeah.
So
I'm Mason. I'm the host of MC Anime.
Okay.
And MC Anime Podcast has been a wild, interesting ride with it being a blog to a live stream to podcast. And on the podcast, geek culture, anime, Japanese aesthetics, and Asian studies is our coverage. We like those topics to deep into the entertainment industry and Asian culture as a whole.
Yeah.
To teach you some stimulating circumstances of that society and those mixes. It comes from my mass communication background and my love for anime, and I just combined it all in one.
See, that's what I find very interesting. Have you ever decided or wanted to go to Japan and be a part of the culture?
Yes, I'm actually planning a trip for
it. Yeah. Okay.
I'm planning a trip next year for a cruise.
Yo, so where are you gonna go?
Well, we're gonna be disembarking in Tokyo. Then we go to Mount Fuji, which is Kobe, Nagasaki. There's some other parts. We're also going disembarking in South Korea.
Oh, yeah.
So we're gonna go to the capital.
Oh, you're gonna go to Seoul? Yeah,
so
man.
There's actually a good amount of stuff I want to do because Mount Fuji is on the visitation in Kobe. Then I'm gonna probably try to do a shrine. So hit up one of the shrines in the area, visit that, go to the World War II Museum in Nagasaki. So that's really major impact there. And then maybe see if I can see a castle at one of the locations.
Okay. Yeah. You will have so much fun. Seoul is a wonderful city. I lived in Korea for a year, and I lived in Japan for 7 years.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We're going to like, I think 12, 14 cities in 10 days.
Yeah. So, man, enjoy. So you going in a large group?
I am going with a 2-person group.
Okay.
Me and myself and someone else.
Okay.
I actually asked my coworker, and he loved the idea to go. He said, "This is checking off my bucket list." I said, "Of course, heck yeah, I'll go."
Oh my goodness, yeah, man. If you don't have fun there, I don't know. Maybe you're lame because it's so much fun. If you want, they probably gonna have places that they're gonna have you go, especially in Seoul, to get something to eat. But I can send you a list of 3 places that you want to go while you in Seoul. They have this place where they do American burgers, and the burgers there are better than in, I say 95% of places.
Well, I actually had my aunt book the itinerary, so she's handling all the payments through Norwegian.
Okay. Norwegian Air, yeah, that's a good flight. That's a good flight.
But because I got all the cruise packages and the airfare all in one, it's actually not bad. It's a lot cheaper than a mainland trip.
I bet.
The mainland trip is a lot more expensive because typically you need $3,000 to $5,000 for that. Yeah. And usually $5,000 is better because all the stuff, the trains and going to different cities and transportation. But because I'm paying for food, lodging, and airfare all in one, really, the only other expenses might be the excursions.
Yeah.
But, there's some excursions that I can just go that's cheaper because, well, the museum at Nagasaki for the World War II museum, that's just admission and getting there.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to save some money on some excursions because I want to customize my trip.
Yeah.
Because I want to be all in the tourist traps if I can. I want to be in the actual some of the culture.
If you go to Seoul and if you go, they have a beautiful museum. I
Mm-hmm.
went there. It's so freaking large. We didn't even get to go through the whole thing. It was so. You have to spend like it's like 8 hours to go through the whole thing, and it was like we had like maybe 4 or 5 hours before it was closing. Man, it's such a large museum. It talks about the Korean War, that they had with the North, their history. Man, it's so much great stuff there. I think you'll probably have a great time going there. When you get to Seoul. I'm not sure if you're gonna have enough time, but yeah.
Well, it depends on the balking, and because we're only going for 10 days, so I think some days we're going to have 2 ports, so the activities need to be light depending on those days.
Gotcha.
But I'm definitely going to have a good time in Mount Fuji, the museum, and if I see a castle, I'm going to love it.
Yep. Yeah, those castles, man, it's amazing what, man can build. So, yeah, man, you're going to enjoy. You're going to enjoy. Man, so let's jump right into it. You talk about your earliest memory of anime, obviously being a big part of your childhood, which for anyone who doesn't know is Pokemon. If you could revisit one childhood memory tied to that anime, what would it be and why?
One memory I would tie back to it would probably be Battle Frontier. So specifically of Pokemon Leaf Green. No, Pokemon Leaf Green? No, Pokemon Emerald, right? Let me see. Oh. Okay, so Emerald is Battle Frontier. I just had the console, so. So Emerald basically has a mini game with the Battle Frontier with the Orange Islands that Ash did on Orange Island on Archipelago.
Yep.
Well, I like it because I have played so much time in the simulated battles that you have an entire catalog of Pokemon. You have open level, which is typically level 100, and level 50. You can go in the single battle and the double battle, and they basically every single time they have Pokemon, and then you can switch Pokemon after you select them. So each battle, you have 3 Pokemon, and if you want to switch one of them on your team, you can. So it's interesting. Basically,
Okay.
you do a best of 7, and you win all 7, and you get the points, which the Battle Frontier gives you. Which I don't even care about the points anymore because I got to the point where I maxed out all my stats, proteins, and all that on the Pokemon that the battle points don't even matter because I just have so much. I can't use them anymore.
And how old were you when you was doing the
I got that access around maybe age 12, age 13.
Okay, that's
So
pretty cool.
it's been a mainstay of the game I bring on trips to play for multiple hours, just playing the same thing. I go to the single battle, level 50, single battle, open level, then I'll go to the double battle, level 50, then the double battle, open level. So I'll do like 4, and then I'll take like 30 minutes each rotation because of the stuff involved. Sometimes it can take longer because I get into these stalls with double team and toxic and lead seed.
Yeah.
Oh, I had some weird game states where it literally just came down to I had leftovers and they didn't, and I can win by struggle. I hate double team struggle battles.
Okay. So question. So you spent a lot of time, playing those games and stuff like that. Did you have a lot of friends, basically playing with you? Because
No.
like for me, when I was a kid, I had like my homeboys, we all had Pokemon and we always used to trade cards. We always used to play like we had like a little community group where we used to, like talk about like okay, I'm using this strategy and I'm using this strategy on my Game Boys.
So I didn't typically have anyone to share the games with. until much later, which the 3DS came out, which actually did random battles on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But that was a little bit different, but that was probably the community I built up with that. But the only community I had was probably my neighbor. I would go to her house a little bit. We would have the Pokemon cards, and we would do the attacks without the energy cost.
Okay.
So we didn't actually follow the game. We based it off HP and the team that we had.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty much my community.
Got you. So. I seen in prior episodes that you had, and you talk about, your generosity, love helping others, taught you some tough lessons. Can you share an instance where helping someone was deeply rewarding and why it stands out to you?
An instance where I deeply helped someone and rewarding at the same time. I guess recently I was at work and I was doing a customer service role of helping them with the flower. Well, the guy was taking the set of roses on an airplane. So he wanted to get them ready, buy them, go on the airplane, board with the flowers. He was so concerned about whether they'll last, how they will last, and if I would be able to help deal with that. So what I did is I take the brown paper, fold it in a triangle, wrap the flowers in it, cut the stems about a 1/4 inch at a slant angle, and wrapped it up, and then got the flower bag, put it in, wrapped it in itself, but made it even tighter in there, put the tape on it, and then he really was appreciative to the point where I wish I could give you a tip, but I'll give you a handshake instead. So he gave me a handshake. So he is really proud of what I was actually able to give him. And, for the little bit of time it took, he was super happy. Because he was going on 3 hours of flight, I didn't really see the need to dampen paper towels.
Yeah,
preserve. Because they can't take water on the plane because, people have the various means of when they use water as a weapon. So
yeah, facts. You ain't lying about that. It's also pretty amazing. Sebastian from Black Butler. Like, do you like Sebastian from Black Butler?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So if you could pick one anime world to actually live in forever, which would it be?
Well, I was thinking of Sebastian for that question.
Yeah.
I want to live like a butler for Silvertooth.
Okay.
I think serving Seal in Black Butler won't be that bad.
Okay.
Yes, he's, selfish and acts in his own interests, but you know what? If I'm that good of a butler, why can't I just try it out?
Yeah, that's true.
Especially if I got the kill set to defend against the supernatural.
Yeah. So would you become a butler in Hunter x Hunter?
Hunter x Hunter? Is there even a butler in Hunter x Hunter?
Yeah, Killua's family was yeah.
Well, I guess I gotta be a really assassinating butler, but I don't know if the world of Sebastian can hold up.
Yeah.
Sebastian don't really care. He'll fit it right in, so that's probably why you did that comparison, didn't you?
Yeah.
You wanted to do a killer butler, so one hell of a butler with a killing butler. So what's the
difference? Determination is such a key quality that I see in you. Can you share a moment where your determination led to a breakthrough or a success that surprised you?
I guess my determination was supposedly of the asset of college. Getting the 2 years degree, finishing degree, going through it, even when COVID hit, and I kind of got less motivated and wasn't really up to the task at that time to balance my life with college. I'm actually finishing it now and getting the 2 years associate.
Congratulations, man. Yes, finish that degree, bro.
I only had 2 classes left. So
Okay. Yeah, that's what's
and
up.
somehow I still kept a 3.2
Okay.
GPA. So
Okay.
I'm still above. It's like interesting.
Hey, one thing I learned from it was a great motivational speaker. His name is E.T. Eric Thompson, and basically he said, "Hey, get that degree." He said, "One thing about a degree, it doesn't show your start date; it shows your finish date.
Yeah.
And from there, all it does after that, he said, it doesn't say your GPA." He said, so I was like, it does, doesn't it? Like, it don't say my GPA. It don't say how long I've been trying to get my degree. It just say when I finish. So,
Yeah. Typically, you get your GPA when you do your
yep,
transcripts.
yep.
But the way I see it, it's a development for me because of the determination to finish.
Mm,
Not finishing is actually worse than to finish. So
mm,
for me, finishing is the goal. That's
mm.
why I'm determined to finish it so I can have it. That way, I have the degree, can't be taken away, and if I ever want to go in a 4-year path, I can.
Yep.
But I'm not determined for the 4-year path right now because mass communications is the entry level
Okay.
job field. So
Gotcha.
I'll be basically like everyone else qualification out there, and I'll have to build up a resume to compete.
Mm,
So the way I see it right now, it's not truly worth it because I can work in the field without the 4-year degree.
yeah.
Because I can work in AV,
Yeah. Oh,
audio visual.
okay. Okay.
So I can go to events, set up the audio, monitor the video, and have like additional visual components sync with the audio when they need it, stuff like that. And
Okay.
events will always be in demand because they need that sound guy. They need that person setting up the video.
No, 100%. As content becomes like, well, I say it's become, but it already is
Yeah.
like the main thing, especially, you see it with influencers, you see it on YouTube with YouTubers, you
Mm-hmm.
see it with people in Twitch, even though they're doing live stream, they go with a theme, a topic, and usually, uh, good shows have a lot of people working behind the scenes to make sure they're good to go. So yeah, 100%. I like that. I like that.
And
And
also, it fits in my behind the scenes when I did mass communications. When I was
mm,
behind the camera, when I was on the teleprompter, when I was the acting director for that set rotation for 2 or 3 weeks. So it really goes to show that there's multiple things to do to be
mhm.
involved. That's why I like AV.
Okay.
AV for me is either it's a soundboard or it's playing the audio clips at specific times, queuing it in, queuing it out, or even cutting the lights on a specific time and playing that video or that visual component, like the graphics and stuff. That's great because you're all a part of it, and all of it is part of a script in a way
Yeah.
to follow. At this minute, we're going to do this. Then you have a transition to this next image. So you
Mm,
really highlight the event in that way because you make it more, I don't say professional, but more easier coping and visuals tied with it.
okay. Mm, and I can feel that. I can feel that. And just even talking about that, you're so passionate about that, right? So how do you balance staying present, with all the planning for the future, how you're trying to do everything when it comes to mass communication, how you want to do things, both in your personal life and also you have a bustling podcast I'm not sure if everybody like heard what I said in the intro. You have over 159 episodes. So basically, how do you balance having such a massive podcast and you trying to get your degree and be professional in your other career?
Well, the podcast is pretty simple. I
Mm.
record ahead of time, make the promos. I'll probably be uploading a promo today after this recording. I'm
Mm-hmm.
probably covering the digital assets and customer protections.
Mm-hmm.
So that's already done. I already have the clips already selected. and I only have a plan on which days we're going to upload for social media for shorts. So at the end of the week, it's going to be the actual podcast upload. So I'm going to have all these little sound bites that's going to promote it on social media, and then dump the episode.
Okay.
And then at work, I'm typically working 8.5 hours, but it's only 1:30 to 10, so I have the entire morning to do any podcast related thing.
Oh, okay.
And then at my days off, I can plan fun activities or volunteer if I can find an opportunity for one day, stuff like that. So I've been using conventions to volunteer for AV, and I also got into another convention where I'm actually going to help the sound programming for the music programming. So I'm actually going to do a one-day event for that, and then probably, if I can get it off, probably a Friday and a Saturday for a 2-day event to volunteer.
So does volunteering for events really help you mentor people? Like who's trying to get in the sound audio? I know you probably meet a lot of people
I don't
there.
know if it's mentoring. I think it's more of self-fulfillment. I volunteered most of my life. Like, I was really busy in high school. I volunteered for 2 years of traveling with the varsity basketball team, filming all games. The away games, the home games. I also did the football live streaming for 2 years for the home game. All through the 4 years I was there, plus a little after, so like 5 years, I was in the concessions. The way I enjoyed football season and sports, I was in the concession or doing something else. I didn't actually, like, the filming, I watched them play, but I was also moving the camera slightly, going with the panoramic view when they were coming in the shot. So I did like basketball for that reason. It didn't bother me, but football, it's not something I always like spot on, and I had to like indirectly enjoy it. I usually like customer service, like being with people. That's also why I did bingo for like 2 years too. Every night I did Monday night I did bingo. I was the bingo callback. So they had bingo, I'd call it back, and I'll give them the money.
And you know what? I didn't know how big bingo was until my wife took me to a bingo hall before. And yo, they crazy in there, man.
Oh
yeah, they crazy.
Especially they get the double dots, and then they get the big boards. They can have even more chances to win.
They have like 10 boards.
Some of these people get the digital and the physical. They get the tablet, and then they're trying to win on the tablet too. And they're playing all the instant games in between. All the big drawings for the different drawings and stuff. That's a separate game. They have separate events in between.
Which I thought was crazy because, like for all people who never been to bingo halls have so many prizes. Like when we was there, they was giving away vacuum cleaners. They was giving away so many different items. I'm like, how are they making money? Like they was giving because they was giving away like nice prizes. Nothing.
So most
nothing to be,
bingos are tied to a charity event.
Yes, yeah.
So most of the time, they're either boosters, like I did for mine, or another event when it's private paid. But over time, they get a accumulated jackpot that's going to keep rising until someone wins it. So that money comes from the bingo itself, from proceeds over into a fund. And the fund keeps growing until someone wins it. Also, they
like
have
a lottery.
sponsors. So sponsors are the ones that are able to give prizes of like monetary value to win. So they have someone to donate, and that can be a sponsor. And that's why they may have that prize.
Yeah. Oh, okay. See, so that makes sense now. Man. So if you guys, viewers, if you guys never went to a bingo hall, it is a surprisingly good time. Like support your local bingo halls because I just can't go to them often because my wife gets pretty crazy there. Like she got like 3 or 4 of 'em. She started off with 1 and then she got hooked, so I can't go with her no more because she just gets too addicted, to
That
that,
reminds
but,
me. Maybe we should do anime bingo.
yeah.
Anime
Be
bingo.
wild.
We have a
It would
pre-check
be
board
wild.
with like different questions. We have each question gets asked, and if we have the answer, we can put it on.
Hey, you should do that. Hey, make an anime bingo, and then when you in a convention, just like test it out there and see if it
Oh yeah, I can put it as a panel.
yeah. Yeah, and see, man, it probably be a big hit. You never know,
True,
it probably be a
especially if
big
I
hit.
can have free sheets ahead of time. I can give it out to people, and we can answer the questions. There's a lot of templates out there, so
Yeah, it is. Man, so you see, we coming up with things. Hey, don't steal it. Hey, the viewers don't steal this idea. Let this man test out this idea. At least give him 6 months with it before y'all go and take it and, introduce it somewhere else. So
they can. It's a good version, so it doesn't really matter.
You've been on several podcasts, man. And what's one thing that you learned from those experiences that helped you improve your own podcast style?
Let's see. I think the biggest involvement was when I was at the podcast retreat in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Mexico for an entire week about 2 years ago, and I recorded 13 podcasts while I was there.
Jeez.
I coordinated a schedule with the studio and recorded in a studio.
Mm-hmm.
And also did interviews and been a guest as well for other people's shows at that retreat. So I also they recorded me, and I had like 3 different connected episodes.
Wow.
Actually, I had 4. I had one with the telenovela with a domestic worker. I had my roommate who translates Spanish, so he did that conversation.
Wow.
Then I had a podcast with my roommate about Scent of a Woman, movie reaction. So that was interesting because he was actually blind. So I got him to listen to the movie and audio descriptions.
Okay.
So that was interesting. I also met a friend through the host of the retreat. She was a hypnotherapist.
Cool.
So that was absolute power in the hypnotherapy episode. And then she introduced me to her friend, which was a dream interpreter. So interpreting dreams and their meaning was really special for me. So what really taught me was the uniform design. This is when I got up with the idea to, on the bottom of my cover art, have a banner that highlighted MC Anime Podcast. So then just the logo is also a banner on it as well. So now it's more of my uniform look.
Gotcha.
And then I uniformed all of my Patreon, Facebook, all of them are the same. The same outlook on every single one.
Gotcha.
So I massively updated any platform I was on with the podcast.
Okay.
So now everything was the same with the same images, and when I had the branded logo, which is tattoo I have, that was basically the branded image. And then of course, the cover art way back of Goku versus McDonald's mascot, Ronald McDonald, in the crossover. I still have that up on my Facebook. I still have that up because I love that image so much. It was a game. It was a cross-platform game. You had many characters, and anime was one of them that came in. I forgot what the name was, but it was an older mashup game that people used to fight characters with. But yeah, Goku versus Ronald McDonald. Ronald McDonald's ready to fight, so is Goku. That was one of my first 20 episodes, I think. It was the anime crossover video games.
20 episode?
Yeah, that was like way back. And there was my co-host. I loved it. I loved it so much. I put it on the banner of my Facebook.
Oh, dang. Okay. I'm going to go check out I'm gonna go check out right now. I'm gonna check it out. And you say you still got it up right now?
Yeah. Blog MC Anime is Facebook.
MC Anime. Let me go.
Do Blog MC Anime so you can find it real quick.
Just go to your website. I can find it fast if I go to your website.
The website is the Facebook.
Oh, it is? So when
Yeah.
I type in MC Anime and go right to it, there's Linktree.
The website I gave. No, I don't have. You can type in MC Anime and the Facebook will show up.
Okay.
Some random mashup games.
Oh, okay. Oh, snap. So, about a while ago.
It's 2D animation.
Oh.
This is one of the games that we covered. This was the cover up that I used for a long time ago.
Okay. I'm looking at it. Hey, so viewers, if you not go to MC Anime, I go to his Facebook page and you'll see that cover art. It got Ronald McDonald. It got Goku and Kamehameha because he got red hair. So he's in his Kamehameha form. So yeah, it's pretty funny and
so
it's pretty
red
funny.
hair versus red hair. Who would have thought?
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it is. My co-hosts love that image so much that this is great.
So you mentioned that like your co-host, your roommate, all these people, had such a great influence on you. But who's been your biggest influence when it comes to like you like pursuing education or you pursuing, your dreams?
Well, the biggest person for that, most influential person in my life. She gave so much to me when other parents might not know how to give it. What I mean by that is because of her teaching background, she was actually able to give a huge impact to my educational journey. Get me caught up on level, make a plan just for me to learn, to actually drastically change how I did scholastic testing, and her strategy was more testing, do more, do it so much that they become intertwined to develop skill. So practice makes perfect was the success to the story. And when that plan was developed, that was actually used for other people the similar way. So I was actually a first case model, and that model has been improvised with other people as a means to better them as well.
Wow. And see, that's very, very interesting. Like, your mom, Kevin Hart talked about that in his book. He talked about his mom will always push him to continuous learning, always pushing. And he said it got to a point where he always strived to not necessarily, have to do scholastic tests, but always be willing to learn something new.
Yes. Yeah. And with me, a lot of people say, you're a wise person, aren't you? You're wise beyond your years. You're like an old sage. You're an older soul. I was like, that fits, but I don't see myself as an old soul. Even though they see me as an old soul, I just am a person with a lot of different vast of knowledge and emotional maturity. That's all it really is. So that's probably what they see is they see wisdom as my personality. When really I'm witty, like to have fun. And if a situation does come up, I would just immediately blurt out the definition and it's like, I already know this. Like, well, I'm just telling you in general.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. So I already know that. Why are you telling me this? It's like, it just came up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to assume you don't know. I'm just going to say.
Yeah. So, my wife is like that as well. They call her a wise old sage, but she's young. And so she has like a little gray streak in her head. So if people are like, oh, you're old, she like, she get mad about it, but it's pretty funny. Yeah.
That's funny.
They do that to her as well a lot. And I was like, you got a little wisdom for,
it's
for
not my fault I connect with older people more than people my own age.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I've connected more with people outside in the young adult sector more than I did in my childhood. So if you really think about it, I'm at a level now where people are actually equal to me. So young adult, it's easier to access now. Because I understand I'm still a young adult and still can give perspective, even if they're if it's still in high school, I can still connect.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to not be able to connect because I live in the entertainment sector, and the entertainment sector is great for connecting people.
100%, and you're not wrong about that. So this is basically before we wrap up, I want to give you the platform to basically talk about any projects or anything that you're about to do in your podcast or anything that you got going. Social media handles, throw it out there.
Gotcha. You can find MC Anime Podcast at Blog MC Anime for the main Facebook, and that's just Blog MC Anime. So simple, easy, straightforward, and you can use an @ sign or not, but it's still the SEO triggers the information. You can find us on podcast directories like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and also YouTube. So, and with any other projects, if you want to contact me about having professional creative services, let me know. I have an entire team for that. And we also have a Patreon.
Heck yeah. Okay. Well, that's a wrap for today's episode of Zenyoku. I want to give a big thank you to my guest, Mason, for sharing his journey insights with us. If you love today's conversation and want more anime content, definitely check out MC Anime Podcast. Mason dives deep into anime, Greek culture, and Asian studies. And he's about to take a trip to Seoul as well as Japan. With over 59 episodes already out, there's a ton of great content waiting for you to explore. Be sure to subscribe, share this episode with your fellow anime fans who want to level up their life. Thanks for listening. Until next time, keep embracing your journey, find inspiration, one anime episode at a time. Peace.